I really like the Arkfeld with the UV, and I really like the Arkfeld with the laser, but I wish there was a way I could just combine the two. Oh wait! There is! Introducing the Arkfeld Pro. It's a 3-in-1 white light, UV, and Class 3 laser all in one amazing package, and I'm going to tell you all about it right now. Upon unboxing, you'll find the manual, a 1-amp MCC magnetic charger, and of course the Arkfeld Pro itself. The Arkfeld Pro is made of aluminum alloy, is IPX7 water resistant, has an impact rating of 1 meter, and weighs just over 100 grams or just under 4 ounces. It's also powered by a built-in 3.7 volt 1500 milliamp rechargeable lithium polymer battery. I'll leave the tech specs from the manual on the screen now just in case I leave out any details, so pause the video here to see those details. During my runtime test in the 1300 lumen turbo mode, the Arkfeld Pro ran for just over 4 minutes before stepping down from the 1300 lumen modes to approximately 400 lumens, and then it ran at that output for an additional 1 hour and 56 minutes, and then it stepped down again to an unspecified output for an additional 10 minutes before the battery became completely depleted for a total runtime of 2 hours and 5 minutes from turbo. Up next, during my thermal output test, the Arkfeld Pro reached a max thermal output of 113 degrees Fahrenheit or 45 degrees Celsius after about 3 minutes and 13 seconds of use. Moving along to my recharge time test using my Olight MCA charger, the Arkfeld Pro took 2 hours and 10 minutes to fully recharge from completely depleted, which is 20 minutes faster than what was stated in the manual, so that's awesome. Now let's take a brief tour of the modes in general operation for the Olight Arkfeld Pro.
This is what the brand new Arkfeld Pro looks like, and as you can see, it's a really nice looking light. Has nice knurling on the side. I'll compare it to the other two versions. You got your UV version here and your laser version here. And basically, these are really all very nice lights, but if I was going to choose just one, I would obviously choose the one that does it all, and that's gonna be the Arkfeld Pro. So I'm gonna compare these two to this one just independently. So let's just go over all the different modes in general operation. First, let's take a look at the light itself. Now, obviously you have your 3 different options here. You have your UV, and that's what that looks like. You have your laser, and that's what that looks like. And you have your white light, and that is what that looks like as well. Then you obviously have some nice knurling on the side here. You have your double-sided clip here for your pocket. You could use that for your pocket, or you could use it for your hat. You could use it for whatever you want to clip it onto. Magnetic charging port at the bottom. Also, it is magnetic itself. It has a pretty powerful magnet as well. And then on top of that, guys, this is my favorite feature, and I'm just going to show it to you right away. When you turn the laser on, you can double click and you can actually turn the light on as well, which is really frigging awesome. And that's just one of my favorite features about this. This is just really cool to have. And then obviously you double click again and you can turn off the laser. But just to have that kind of feature there, that's pretty awesome. I really, really like that. So let's go over the basic operation here, all right? You use this little lever here. You're gonna flick it into the UV mode. Very simple. You turn the UV mode on, you turn the UV mode on. That's all there is to it. Then obviously you press the button for the laser when you flick over to the laser, and you have your laser. That's a Class 3 laser. It's nice and bright. It's 3 times as bright as the old laser here. I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison. The new laser versus the old laser. New laser, old laser. And that's what they look like, side by side. All right, it's pretty nice. Way brighter than the old laser. Now I'm going to compare the UV light here. This is the new UV. This is the old UV. Now, it's not to say that the old UV isn't any good, but it is to say that you're going to get a lot more flood out of the Pro version and a lot more throw out of the Pro version than you do out of the old UV for the Arkfeld. Not too bad. If I'm going to compare UVs, let's compare the UV for the Seeker 4 Mini. Now you're going to go ahead and double click there. All right, so that's the UV for the Seeker 4 Mini. The Seeker 4 Mini, a lot more throw, a little bit more powerful UV. If I was going to use one for a job, I would definitely be using the Mini, but having this available on the Arkfeld Pro is just excellent to have. It's going to do the job no matter what. As you can see, I'm going to step further back. Now, as I go further back, I'm approximately about 4 feet away from the backdrop there. All right, so 4 feet away from the backdrop, you could see the spot, right? Whereas the other side is all flood. So the Arkfeld's all flood. You got a lot more spot. I'm going to come back, and as you can see, flood, spot. That's the only really big difference between the two. You're gonna get a lot more throw and a lot more flood by comparison. So here's the white light modes. This is what this is gonna look like. Flick it over to the white light mode. I'm gonna put this in, you're gonna hold it down. It's gonna go into that 1 lumen white light mode. Got a runtime of 11 days on that. 11 days, you can just let it just run for 11 days. Hold it down again, you're gonna jump up to that 15 lumen mode. That's gonna have a runtime of 55 hours, which is a really long time. Then you're gonna hold it down again, you're gonna jump into the 100 lumen mode with a runtime of 9 hours and 45 minutes, which is nice and bright. Look at that, nice and bright. Gonna jump up to that 420 mode, and that's gonna give you a runtime of about 135 minutes before it drops down by 24% for another 12 minutes, and then it's gonna die out after that. Then obviously you double click for your turbo. That's what it's gonna look like, 1300 lumens with a runtime of 4 minutes before it drops down to the 420 lumen output again for the remainder, which is gonna be 126 minutes roughly. Now, triple click 1, 2, 3, that's gonna bring you over to your strobe. Then you can turn that off. If you wanna use the lockout mode, it does have a lockout mode on this light. All you have to do is hold down the side button. Light's gonna turn on. See, and now you're locked out. Go ahead, hold it down again. It's gonna turn green when it's unlocked. Pretty easy to use, guys. Very, very simple operation there. Let's take it outside and see what it looks like in the dark.
The Olight Arkfeld Pro has a max beam distance of 102 meters or 334 feet in the 1300 lumen turbo mode. It also has a max candela of 2608 CD, and the LED color tint in this video is cool white, coming in between 5700K and 7000K with a CRI of 70. The UV LED comes in the 365 nanometer spectrum with a optical power of 900 milliwatts. The onboard green laser is a class 3R, coming in the 510 to 530 nanometer wavelength.
Arkfeld UV on the left and the Arkfeld Pro on the right, about 8 feet away. Seeker 4 Mini, Arkfeld Pro. This is the Arkfeld Pro, 1300 lumens. This is the Arkfeld Pro laser, and that's what it looks like. Goes all the way back there, pretty good. Right about there is probably about 80 feet away from where I'm standing currently. Go further back, that's probably about 120 feet roughly back there. You can see the center of the laser. I'll dial it in for you guys so you can see a little bit better. But yeah, that laser does go pretty far. The reason I choose to film this in a very open, dark location like this, see how dark it is when you turn that off, is because it gives you some perspective. Like if you use this in your house, you're not gonna get the perspective of how bright this actually is in a situation where you actually need it outside in the dark, in that void of darkness in the wilderness. I think this gives you the best perspective for that. And this is what the UV looks like directly in the camera lens. 1300 lumens, not bad. We'll start here, I'll pan up with the laser. And all the way to that tree line back there is about 250 feet or so. You can still see that laser all the way back there. And that's all you can see all the way back there is that little laser point. That's as far as I can go. And then we'll zoom it back up. And that's what we got. Got a little blow up lantern here. I'll put this on the laser. That's what it looks like with the laser. That's what it looks like with the UV. You could barely see it really. You just have the flashlight on, but you could definitely see it light up when you have the UV on there. It's pretty cool. Now, another thing that I wanted to briefly mention is that 1300 lumens is a pretty good amount of lumens for a little tiny light like this, and I haven't had any issues with heat. Like, I can touch this thing and squeeze it in my hand, and it's not really hot at all, and it's been on for at least 20 minutes while I've been filming outside, and 1300 lumens is just a great amount of lumens to be able to see what you're doing, but it's also something that would typically heat up a flashlight pretty well. I think they've done a really good job with the heat control with this one.
Another really cool demonstration is this crab. Look at him. You can't see him very well with the white light, but with that UV light, he just glows in the dark, a nice, pretty blue color, and that's what he looks like with that UV, and it looks amazing. Now for my pros and cons. First, the pros. The Arkfeld Pro has a better UV light than the Arkfeld UV original, and a better laser than the original Arkfeld as well. And I love the fact that you can use the white light LED along with the green laser at the same time. For overall functionality, the Arkfeld Pro is a major win for the Arkfeld line. Now for my cons. I felt like the mode selector wheel on my particular model was a little bit loose. I do prefer the overall tightness of the original two Arkfelds by comparison, unless mine just happens to be looser than the rest of everybody else's. And that's my only con, and it's definitely not a deal breaker. The Arkfeld Pro Class 3R retails for $99.99, but in the October Halloween flash sale, you can get one of these for just $69.99, and during the sale, you can get an orange skull i3E EOS that will automatically be added to your cart as a free gift from Olight. That's a 90 lumen AAA operated flashlight with skulls, and it's orange, like a pumpkin, but with skulls instead. And if you're watching this video but the sale has already ended, you can still save 10% off of your next purchase by using my promotional code PG10. I'll leave a link down in the description. I hope this video has been helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you like what you see, and give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful. Thanks for watching. This has been Prepared Guy, and until next time, guys, stay spooky.